I have to be on the road at like 8:30 a.m. It's better to just spend the night with tea, coffee, and maybe a Dr. Pepper or a Cassis. Gotta be responsible, guys. Even if it's 12 hours from now. I want to have some energy tomorrow for that big Gape Cup. Server-wise, this is going to be Europe Game 1. America, like US East Game 2. Europe Game 3. US East Game 4. And if it goes to the rubber match again, we'll flip another coin. So it's the most fair way to do it. Acheron told me that he does have pretty high ping to Europe. He says it's around like 140, 150. That's very high for someone who lives on the East Coast. I was like, you live in a tiny village or something? He's like, yeah, kind of a small village near the mountains. And I had no idea where he lived. So I was like, mountains on the East Coast? I was like, Virginia or something? He's like, yeah. How do you know? I was like, it was just a guess. He's like, yeah, that's where I live. I was like, cool. A fun little interaction this morning. I was very proud of my guess. I just nailed it. Now, Acheron did play a couple of weeks ago. He played against Shameless. And he lost 3-1, I believe it was. Yeah, he lost 3-1. Yeah, Shameless been fun. He's been having a tough time on the ladder, but in the Big Brain Bouts, he's been having an absolutely fantastic time. I think I am reasonable at GeoGuessr. But I know that GeoGuessr, I think, is kind of imbalanced. Because you need to play it a lot to have very good guesses for the weird countries. Because some nations are not in it, but if you don't know that, then you're just going to make terrible guesses. And I've never spent that much time at GeoGuessr. But I'm reasonable in some of the obvious things. Really is great. I wouldn't say I'm great. I'm okay. Could be better, but I'm alrighty. Game 1 is going to be played on Hecate. Game 2, Oceanborn. Game 3, Side Delta. Game 4, Alcyone. And if we get to Game 5, it will be played on Hardlet. Mechanics is ready. I can show you guys the profile quickly. Why not? Whoa, okay. Tough time on the ladder. A couple days when I played him, a couple days ago, he was like 5-2 or even 5-3. Ooh. Ay. That warm-up right before the Big Brain Bouts, guys. Ooh. That's a tough session. So it might be difficult, but I played against Mechanics myself, and he actually beat me one game. Now, it wasn't my finest game, but I was pretty impressed. I thought he was playing well. I thought it all made sense. Could be that the American Protoss is the favorite here. Well, let's see. I think Mechanics is a Raynor fan. I don't know if he's close enough to Raynor to ask him for a tip or two. Didn't know that Iger is a noob at chat. GeoGuessr. I believe that Iger is a noob at chat at everything he does. Any Japanese high-level players? There is only one, and his name is Psyark, I believe. I want to say Honmono, but that's not correct, because Honmono is the Korean Terran. I think Psyark is the only ever good Japanese Starcraft 2 player. Mechanics is also a huge Dark fan. Honmono lives in Japan, okay. Fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna let them know ready when you are. Well, looking at that MMR gives me the feeling that maybe Acheron is a pretty sizable favorite here, but he also said that a little while ago he just had a break, so his MMR was a bit lower than it should have been. I'm excited for it. Generally, no idea. I was impressed by Mechanics when I played against him. Thought he played really smart, was on point. Let's hope it's a good series. $80 for the winner, $20 for the loser. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, a second series of the night. Kevin, do you have the date from the next Home Story Cup? I know that it is one weekend before TwitchCon, but I actually don't know the exact weekend, but you can Google it. It is already announced. It is set in stone. And you can also just Google TwitchCon dates and then know that the weekend before TwitchCon, it's Home Story Cup in Krefeld. Following weekend, TwitchCon in RotterdaM. So I don't know it from the top of my head, but it's very easy to figure it out.
Let's get it on.
Someone in chat should be able to help you with that. Shout out to GM Colin and Pilot Pants. Much love, guys.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. Making his debut as well in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. A German Zerg. It is Mechanics. Representing Badge. Loves the frog. Top right side for the first time ever. Also representing BBEX, an American Protoss player, Acheron. My man Aniak wanted more Americans in the Big Brain Bouts. Well, here you have it, mate. Are spectators welcome at Home Story Cup? Absolutely. We encourage spectators. We want spectators. That is what Home Story Cup is all about. Is it set in stone? I'm sure that it's set in stone. Unless it would like randomly change, but that's weird because they have announced these days for a little while. As far as I know, it is set in stone. I'd be very surprised if they would randomly change it. Because then what's the point of announcing dates? I know that it happened, I think, one time in the history that a Home Story Cup did move around a little. And that had to do with some other big, I think, Chinese tournament that all of a sudden happened. I kind of like the idea of having back-to-back weekends of Home Story Cup and then TwitchCon in RotterdaM. I think it would be awesome. And I hope that I can do something fun at TwitchCon in RotterdaM too. Shout out to Fazur as well, by the way, for the 8 months. But yeah, there's plenty of other stuff to look forward to until that happens. It's gonna be busy. It's always kind of busy in the Starcraft scene. You know, people say, oh, Starcraft year 2024. What is there really? Well, then you look at the calendar and you wonder when you can do fun stuff or relax a little. I feel like there is very little time for that. We're gonna have the Master Colosseum qualifier soon. Oh, Twilight Council, by the way, I like it. Almost every Protoss opens up one gate, fast expand Stargate, adapts Oracle. That's kind of the name of the game in PvZ at the moment. I am a bit of a Twilight lover myself, but not necessarily the highest level of player. It's good to see that I am not alone. The last of a dying breed. Acheron and Roddy. Twilight Council. Giving high ground vision, by the way, to the Stalker with his adept here. That's cool. Well done. First blood on the Overlord. Will it be Glaives? It should be Glaives, right? Yeah. So I guess 4 gateways, resonating glaive, adept, and we'll take it from there. Probably want to start your upgrade though, amigo. Hello? Please don't forget. Mechanic sitting on, I think, a few too many minerals here. Don't know what exactly went wrong, but I know that we're never supposed to have 6 or 7 on the minerals in the bank. Maybe losing that Overlord as early as he did threw him off a tiny bit. You think he has a 20% chance of winning the series? Well, I was impressed by his defense against my Glaives. Once more, the game that I had was actually on this map. Wasn't my finest game. I think I was watching some football on this side. But it all looked pretty good what a German Zerg was doing. And that's when I was like, hey, why don't I invite this kid? He has never played. Let's start a game. We have started this game, sir. So I was giving you so much credit during a match with Foxer. It felt wrong. I think I'm surprised that you guys were surprised about that. Like, I think if Cell was on his own channel, then obviously he'd be memeing a little, right? And he'd be talking some crap. But since he's on Statfest's channel and it's Bruno who's asking them to cast, then you're going to be a bit more serious and a bit more neutral. And to be fair, I think I deserve some credit. I was good. I don't know how you can really talk a whole lot of smack about that performance. We have 10 adepts, guys, with Resonating Glaive. He's going to split them off. 4 adepts with glaives into the third. A couple of them threatened to go into the natural. Won't quite go into the natural. Nice surround, though, by Mechanics. Kind of has it, totally has it. It's going to kill at least 2, maybe 3. Now all of the other adepts do manage to shade up into the natural, too. Okay, it's a quick recall. Well, I think pretty good defense. Killed 4 adepts, lost 3 drones, lost a couple Zerglings. Feel like we can work with that if we are a fan of the German Zerg. Unfortunate shade there as Acheron is going to lose another adept. Now one more adept is in danger of being surrounded and being picked off. One of the big downsides, guys, of opening up with glaive adept is that sometimes dealing with the counterattack can be difficult. Now 20 links, 7 roaches is scary, but shouldn't really be game ending. Universe 1, Cuckoo. Well, I'm not talking about the free-for-all, by the way, look. I think in a free-for-all, you can't really do a whole lot right or wrong. I mean, running away from Tempest. Tempest outrange, right? What can you do? It's like Stalkers against Marines if the Marines don't have a bunker or a stim. Like, you're going to lose the fight unless the Stalker player messes up. Tempest are going to beat Carriers unless the Tempest player messes up. I don't think you can really give me a hard time for that. The drone count is a little low, but good news is that roaches are very cheap. And we can build a lot of roaches and a lot of ravagers. As a Zerg, you of course don't want to be down 16 workers here. That's a serious amount of workers to be down. But if it comes down to a Roachling Ravager against Stalkers and Zealots, I don't really hate the chances of the German Zergy. But it is important that he comes up with a clear plan of where he wants to go now. It's like, okay, you defended against the Adepts. It all went pretty well. We definitely got outmined over the last 3-4 minutes. Maybe even the last 5 minutes. Sometimes a bit more severe than in other moments. Now it's important to have a good plan. Are we going to drop the Hydra then? Do you want to play Roaches and Hydras? If you want to do that, that is okay. But then you do kind of need to try to hit before the Robo unit count comes too high. Because that Robo base is about to come online. It's only single Robo, but even just 2 Disruptors will already make your life very difficult if you want to spam Roaches, Lings, Hydras. So far, it seems like we just want to spam Roaches, Ravagers, and Zerglings. I mean, Roaches are good, guys. And since acheron is building a Colossus, like that Colossus will be great against the Zerglings. But the Colossus doesn't do that much against Roaches. Stalker dies. Stalkers are expensive. Roaches are not. So you really want to be careful here that you don't trade out too many expensive units. Who messed up your betting odds? Who did you bet for? Number 1 was acheron, right? In the prediction. Number 2 is Mechanics. I forgot in which order I put it. It's 120 supply of roaches at the moment. Pi and Loco would be very proud of this performance. Mechanic says, Roddy, you want me in the Big Brain Bouts? That's fine. Look at me, mate. I'm gonna build so many roaches. You've never seen so many roaches. He's actually going to surround. I think the Stalkers need to evacuate to this area. That is exactly what he's going to try to do. Pretty good move there by acheron, because it could have been a whole lot worse. The surround itself was beautiful. Anything that looks like a trade, I think, is going to be pretty good for the Protoss. The Protoss has a much bigger economy, has a bigger bank, and is obviously working towards stronger units. So many of these Stalkers are 1 or 2 hits away from dying. That, I think, is a painful blink, because now you will end up losing a lot of those Stalkers. I mean, there were 2 fights happening during the entire duration of this battle. I still think it's okay-ish for our Protoss, guys. +3 is now on the way. Extended Turbulence about to finish up. We got 4 bases. We got 80 workers. I mean, he's down 55 army supply. It is okay unless we lose all of the units right now, right before. We can spend that money. And those big units can come into play. We're going to be forced to pull the probes a little bit. A very close first game between these two. Mechanics' supply is just not dropping. Pi, Loco, Stefano, 3 of the great roach users in this day and age. Oh, battery overcharge is big though, but now another Colossus is going to be the target. Can that one get saved? Oh my god, he saves both? That's crazy. But it's still so many roaches, and eventually, I'm afraid that we just don't have a good enough answer against the 75-25 Stalker, as we used to call it in my day and age. The roaches are good, guys. You know, people often talk about how easy it is to play Protoss. Why are we attacking our shield battery with our own probes? Unfortunate misclick there for the American Protoss. I think game 1 does belong to Mechanics. Who cares about... I like how he's dropping the Hydra then now. He's like, guys, it was just a bit of pressure, man. I just made a couple roaches. I was testing the waters. A skill check, as Piggy would call it. I was like, we didn't make a couple roaches here, mate. We lost 87 roaches in an 11-minute game, and we still have 29. What is that? 106 roaches? It's a lot of roaches, guys. And he's making more. Acheron is still a 3 base Protoss, but he's now down in workers. And the fact that we went single Robo, I think, is a decision that we severely regret. If we would have just gone double Robo immediately, pump out a couple of Immortals. Nothing to worry about. I almost always love Colossus, because I really do think they're good. But this was maybe not quite the moment for them to make their first appearance. 2 or 3 Immortals first, and then Colossus would have been fantastic, would have made his life so much easier. His mechanics didn't even have like a lot of Ravagers, didn't have a lot of Lings in the mix. It was just the good old 75-25 Stalker. Yeah, it would be Archon, but well, maybe Acheron just thought he's gonna be okay against the Roaches with his Blink Stalkers and the Cannons and the Zealots. And he just wanted to make sure that he would have an answer for either Hydras or Zerglings. Hindsight, looking back at it, yeah, the Colossus was a wrong choice. Disruptors would have been better, Immortals would have been better, but you can't always know that. Hey Roddy, I love you. It's great news, man. This is a better anti-Roach army, by the way. 1 Archon in the mix, couple Stalkers. High Templars have Storm. Is there still a chance, guys? Is there still a chance? Roach is taking a bit of a beating here. Our German Zerg is enjoying a 12 worker lead, a 32 army supply lead. As the Lurker Den has been dropped as well on the back of the main. I mean, if this game slows down and stabilizes, don't forget that we researched Storm a while ago and +3. So, crazy amount of splash damage available now, which happens to be very good against Roaches and Hydras. Unfortunately, the American Protoss has very little vision, so he only now really sees this army showing up. The Zealots don't stand a chance here. We're gonna need a couple of juicy storms. We're going for the Nexus. Mechanics just clicks on that main base and he's going to get it. Battery overcharge was a little bit late. A tiny forward blink, but that's not really going to hurt our German Zerg all that much. Still has a couple of Queens chilling as well, the bottom side of the map. We have Vipers. We should be able to land at least 1 abduct, right? I think if you just abduct the Colossus or some Archons here, you're gonna have a good time. The Storm's still a bit scary. Could be a great moment to attack this base right when all these Lurkers are morphing, but obviously morphing Lurkers are not ready to fight yet. Acheron is going to see all of these morphing Lurkers and he's just going to storm them into oblivion. He unites all 8 of them. And just like that, Mechanics is now dead even in supply, and that's not a good sign if you're spamming Roaches and Hydras. Oh, go for the High Templars then, mate. Mechanics finds 1, and the other 2 are going to morph into Archons. Those Archons will fall. Will some Lurkers eventually finish up? One of them has. Mechanics was sitting on a lot of money, but he is losing a crazy amount right now, and he's remaxing on 31 more Roaches. Do we have an Observer still? We had an Obs. Did he lose it? No, he didn't lose it. It's over here on the left. 1 Lurker, guys. That 1 Lurker has gone down. We're now morphing all of our High Templars into Archons. Mechanics still counterattacking. This game is wild. The Roaches have micro potential on Crypto. The Roaches with a bit of Transfuse. Transfuse is big here. Those Queens, they might make the difference. But 3 Archons with +3 are insanely good. And most of the Roaches have melted. A few more Hydras show up. What on earth is happening over here? Is it then still Acheron, guys? Oh, Mechanics, mate. How did this happen? How did this happen? How did we let this one happen? Maybe the final Roaches can now get on top of the Colossus. That forward link is not that hot. Now every single Stalker dies. Now the Colossus dies. The final one is going to try to get recalled. And oh, it lives. It actually lives with 3 HP. Believe it or not. Oh, Mechanics. Mechanics tried to go into Lurkers. More of those Lurkers close to the fight. Lost all 8 of them. Tried to morph a few more. Lost those 2. Then said, F it. I'll just remax on like 30 something Roaches. But those +3 Archons really packed the punch. Was that recall calculated? No. I think we were hoping to save a little more. But it's okay though. The American Protoss is cooking. He still has a good army. 66 probes as well. Is there really a place? Well, we need this space. Like the probe count is a tiny bit deceiving right now because it's a lot of what Rainer would call the ruddy, long distance mining. So it is a tiny bit deceiving, but these lurkers, guys, don't have any of their sexy upgrades. We don't have seismic spines, we don't have adaptive talents. So they are relatively underwhelming lurkers. Doesn't mean that you should not respect them. Because running into 7 lurkers could still be very problematic. We are going to work on the range upgrade now, seismic spines. If this base is actually up and running, then I think things look very good for Acheron, who has just warped in a bunch of DTs. Do we have any detection here? No, we don't, guys. There's one spore crawler on the map, so that is kind of painful. What is this? Couple roaches? Hey, that's good. It's a good way to take care of some of that long distance mining, but what those roaches are doing, guys, those DTs will also do this. Those storms are massive, but the lurker attacks are pretty big as well. When we have storm 4 days, and with this many storms, I guess it doesn't really matter. After 17 minutes, it's the American Protoss, Acheron, who somehow still takes the 1-0 lead. Even though he was down legitimately 40, 50, 60 supply at one point. Was down over 50 army supply. But the American Protoss takes the 1-0 lead. That means that we're going to hop over to the American server for Game 2. Roddy will still claim Storm sucks. When I say Storm sucks, I mostly think that Storm sucks against Terran. Against good Terrans with a lot of ghosts, I think Storm kind of sucks. Against Zerg, Storm is good. It's just, you can't really, like, obviously you guys know that I love Phoenix. I'm a Phoenix lover. And Phoenix into Storm is just not something that really makes sense. Everything costs a crazy amount of gas. You have nothing that can really just stand their ground and fight. So you can't go Phoenix into Storm in PvZ against any Zerg that's good. That's just not really a thing. But Storm after Blink Stalkers or Immortals, like, yeah, Storm is pretty awesome. I think anybody who would say anything otherwise is crazy. And Storm is good against Roach Hydra. Used to be kind of weak against Banelings, but these days Banelings die a bit quicker, so Storm is... Like, Storm got better by Banelings getting worse, which may sound stupid, but that's just kind of the way it is. We saw how good Protoss was yesterday, eh, Lino? Did you watch my games, mate? I know it was late, but... Yeah, the classic, Timmy. Yesterday in my free-for-all, where I literally had one gateway that I had to kill to get out of my own natural. So I had 0 gateways and I had no warp gate. I'm getting attacked by a bunch of Marines and people are like, Storm! I was like, really? 0 gates? No warp gate technology? No Twilight Council? And you're telling me to go Storm? I don't know how I'm ever supposed to have Storm here. We have swapped over to the American server. Indy is there, but the players are not here. Now Indy is wondering if they are lost. I don't know where they are, guys. It's just Indy and me. Huh? Maybe a channel bug? Gotta take a look at Discord then. Where's my phone? That was a very big disconnect. It wasn't just my camera, guys, that went off. It was even my monitor that went off. Where are Acheron and mechanics? Okay, Acheron is here. I dominated Zero. It was some of my finer work, mate. Mechanics forgot that we have to go to the American server. Now, I played very well, Zero, if I may say so myself. And it doesn't happen often that I say that about my own performance, but I actually think I was playing very good. I was in trouble in game 1. I had a bad start. Turned it around. Landed a sick Nova. A game-changing Nova. What was the result? 3-0. 3-0 for the old man. And if we include that ZVZ, it was 4-0. But no, the ZVZ doesn't count. You actually have an off race? No, I just played, it was all PvT. The ZVZ was for the memes. The ZVZ we did because Statfest and Upper 3 were late. So instead of like not doing anything and just both playing a ladder game, I was like, let's play a ZVZ for fun. I think you would have won the FFA yesterday if you didn't betray the boys. Like, you're the second person who says that, but I didn't betray anyone. I have no... Somebody, like, there was... Some people started a narrative in Statfest's channel that I betrayed teammates. I was like, first of all, it's a free-for-all. It is not... There are no teammates. And second of all, like, who did I betray? Foxer, who killed me twice? I didn't even kill him. Euthermo, I never interacted with. I attacked Nina. How was I the one who betrayed anyone? This is so crazy. And on top of that, it's a free-for-all, guys. Like, it's kind of like Among Us. You just talk crap and you hope that it goes well. But I did not betray anyone. If anything, I am the one who got betrayed many times. I finished 4th place, guys. Like, if I really betrayed that many people, I probably wouldn't have finished in 4th place, right? Anyway, round 2.
Round 2. Fight!
Top left side of Oceanborn. We are looking at the main base of the American Protoss, taking the 1-0 lead after a bit of a banger on Hecate. This is acheron. We were also stimulated to like kind of talk crap and form alliances, etc. in by Bruno. They wanted us to talk a lot, spam a little, but it's just that kind of stuff. It does irk me a little. It's like people want fun, and then you're having fun, and then people get annoyed at your behavior or something, or be like, oh, he broke a promise, oh, he didn't do something. It's like, jeez, it's a game, man. We're having a good time. Jeez Louise. It's like they play it so personal. It's like, yeah, I can't stand that guy. It's like, really? Yeah, but I couldn't see that JoJo Ultra. I have no vision of that at all. Like, I know that was being said, but I had no idea if they were playing me or not. Like, I could have been played like a fiddle, right? Because every time that I got in range of all those cannons in Tempest, I lose a carrier. I just don't have the army to fight there. I cannot see that. If I would actually see them attack, then I could have maybe tried something too, but I couldn't even attack all these cannons. It's like, I have no idea if they actually followed up with that or not. It's not that I see their army. Because we can't like actually form an alliance, which is a mod, by the way. But anyway, I digress. I didn't know that happened. Like, this is the first time that I actually hear about that, but I'd have possibly known. Anyway, bottom right side of Oceanborn, we're looking at the main base of a German Zerg. He's down 0-1. He's gonna have to go up against the Resonating Glaive Adepts potentially once more. This is mechanics. But I think I'm pretty nice about sports teams though, Max King. I feel like I only ever come across like a hater when I talk about Ajax. That's not my fault. No, this is how I got raised. I was born in RotterdaM. I have not known any different. I feel like when it comes down to other sports, whether it's MMA or tennis or Formula 1, I think I'm pretty respectful to almost everyone. There are some people that I don't care much for, but it's not like I sit here actively like hating on them or saying mean things. I only really ever banter about Ajax. And obviously sports teams that my friends like, but that's not because I actually feel like that. It's just because I want to banter with my friends. Yeah. But that is a fair way of looking at it. Never really thought about it like that, but sure. We'll take it. So acheron is going to go for Resonating Glaive once more. Pretty quick third Nexus, all things considered. I like that I found a fellow Twilight enjoyer in this matchup. Kind of thought I was the last one. What about poor Napoli? Mate, I literally have a leather account called Napoli. I like Napoli. They just caused me a lot of pain. And they were so good last year. I think Napoli is cool. I was very happy that they won the Serie A last year. It's always cool when there's a bit of variation, right? Of variety in champs. It's not fun if the same team wins every year. Unless it's Feyenoord. But we never do, so it's not a problem. I have never been to Thailand, no. And who was the biggest soccer football star in the Netherlands? I'd say in the 90s it's probably Marco van Basten. Van Basten and Gullit were very big stars. And before that, obviously, Johan Cruyff. That's a good spot, I think, for adapts. But if all the queens can attack at the same time, it's going to be okay. But yeah, it's only a couple of links at a time. We really need those roaches here for mechanics. Still think it's kind of okay, though. Mechanics really has pretty good defense against these adapts with Resonating Glaze. He's very quick on pulling those drones away. There are two more adepts that are going to shade into the third base. Those have potential because we are obviously very focused on dealing with whatever is happening in the main. Roaches from the high ground trying to help out. It's the final two adepts that have found the most damage here. And I think acheron is doing a very good job in probing up behind all of this. I'd say Bergkamp overdose. Yeah, Bergkamp definitely a very big star as well, like late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe Van Basten and Gullit were more like late 80s, early 90s. Over the last 20 years, I think Wesley Sneijder was a very big star. I'd probably go with Sneijder, Van Persie, Robbe, those three over the last like 20 years. I think that's pretty fair. Cruyff is the biggest legend of all of them, but obviously way before my time and the time of many people that are still watching football right now. Overmars was a big name, but not really like mega star. Just one of the many top players. acheron is going to go double robo this game, guys, and I think that's a great call. Double robo with the robo bay. Has a bunch of stalkers with an observer. He's going to push back this creep. Mechanics' his lair does feel a little bit late to me, and especially if we want to build this many roaches. Fighting stalkers when your roaches don't have that roach speed upgrade is honestly going to be very difficult. I don't know, maybe it's because I experience football different now that I'm a bit older, but Van Dijk is I know an international star and it's very impressive, but I feel like in the Netherlands people don't really think of Van Dijk as like, oh wow, Virgil van Dijk, I'm gonna remember him for the rest of my life. It kind of just feels like he is a good defender, like we've had many good defenders. Well, we're gonna start things off with a Colossus, but since we're gonna go double robo, okay, apparently double Colossus, it is actually kind of gonna be useful against all these Zerglings that Mechanics currently has. Couple Stalkers not good enough, so I do think that Mechanics gets a cancel on the 4th Nexus. That's obviously nice. I would have loved to see him actually kill that probe too, because if you kill that probe, then the next probe needs to come all the way from here. You get a bigger delay, but it's okay. My favorite NFL team is the Falcons, believe it or not. Very poor choice by me. I get why he likes Colossus, and it's going to be great against these Zerglings that are just running around. The Lings really do not stand a chance against Colossus. Even if you have good upgrades on your Zerglings, even if those Lings have +2, still there's not really a fight you can take. We do have roach speed at this point, but upgrades again, acheron is just further ahead. The Blink Stalker count is high, and honestly this is a fight that the Stalkers think can kind of take. We did miss a little Blink there, 1 or 2 Stalkers will get picked up. Nice forward Blink there as well. Mr. Mechanics is in a bit of trouble. He really had game 1 in the bag. It should have gone his way. Was in a bit of trouble, but this had a great roach attack. I think acheron has already learned a lot from that game, and that's why he's gone very quick double robo. He's just playing solid. Oh, Roach is getting a top Colossus, but there is a War Prism here, and the War Prism can obviously pick up one Colossus, drop the other one, maybe turn around, go for this one. That is the only one you're really going to get, and that is exactly what he does. Still a lot of roaches that we are donating here though, guys. Picking up one expensive Colossus is obviously cool. He's gonna make a couple Immortals now, which I think is smart. Mechanics loves counterattacks with roaches, eh? It just kind of feels that Acheron gets economically ahead, and then he can have even trades, and it's okay because he just continues to kind of be ahead. Kind of like I am ahead, and now we are trading, but because I'm ahead, I'm gonna stay ahead. We have a nice roach counterattack on the top side of the map. Go for that battery, please, mate. Make your life easy, and that's exactly what he does. Okay, this might be an alrighty fight. It would have been so sick if you can have a tiny surround. There are 14 roaches on the production tab. This is not enough, mate. You need more. You should have more. I think there was more somewhere, but it wasn't here. Just like that. The American Protoss. Acheron takes a 2-0 lead. First game, obviously a bit of a miraculous victory, but second game, just very convincing. I think Mechanics was ready for the adepts. I think he dealt with them alright in the natural. I think he did okay in the main. And then the final two adepts that showed up, that shaded into the third, I think they really slowed him down. And then we just couldn't really do anything anymore. Just kind of stuck, make a lot of roaches, but the lair was late. Blink Stalkers were on the edge of creep when we didn't even have a lair yet and we didn't have roach speed. Stuff 2-0. The Americans, guys. What is it with America getting victory over the Germans, eh? Next week, or in 2 weeks from now, maybe it's time for Australia against Gabe. Well, that'd be a banger too. Be a fun series. Happy sub anniversary to us. 3 years, hi Gray. 3 beautiful years with your man Roddy. Thank you, mate. NA is the strongest region. Just animals over there on the American server. All I see are absolute animals. We've got another PvZ after this, but that's obviously going to be a high-level PvZ, guys. Goblin versus Nikic. 2 players that are around 6,000 MMR. I'm excited for it. Leather is a real jungle. See my boy Wingant online. Grinding that 2v2 and 3v3. And if you guys into any of the custom games right now on Battle.net, I haven't played no, it wasn't the fake one. When I was young and Warcraft 3 was big, I loved playing those mini games, whether it's like Other Party, X-Hero Siege, Dota. In Starcraft 2 it has never interested me all that much. Like, I don't hate them, but I'm never really booting up Battle.net with the idea of let's play some mini games. Even Zealot Hockey, maybe I would enjoy Zealot Hockey. Maybe I should give that a shot. I think Zealot Hockey will be something that's right up my alley. Huh? When are we gonna get the real versus fake Wingant BBB match? I will never give that fake Wingant any attention or a platform. That guy's just an absolute donkey. Deserves 0 attention, 0 love. Let's not even talk about him. He doesn't deserve it. Let's go ahead and hop into game 3.
Round 3. Fight.
We need to turn things around. Obviously, game 1 was pretty much in the bag, but we can't ignore the part where he was in a bit of trouble at first. Then he just hit a very strong attack. I think he surprised his opponent a little, but we could not close it out when we were very far ahead. Game 2, we kind of got dominated. Can we turn things around? A German Zerg Mechanics. Or will it just be another Protoss victory, guys? The amount of Protoss victories on this channel has been too damn high over the last few weeks. All I see all day long is Protoss dominate. Will there be another one? BB, EX, Acheron. Mechanic said it's time for the reverse sweep, and I believe him. I hope there is a reason to be that confident. The last man who said he was going to go for a reverse sweep did send us to game 5. Our bro Miknik from Ukraine was down 0-2 against Nidix. Actually won game 3, won game 4. And had a chance in game 5, but in the end just kind of got outmaneuvered. If the only Starcraft 2 you watch is live on my Twitch, you probably do think that Protoss is kind of broken. Because lately, I have broadcasted an insane amount of Protoss victories. Everywhere we look. I don't think it's quite that extreme, guys. But Protoss is also not that bad. Not as bad as some people want you to believe it is. I just saw you hop on Battle.net, Wingant, and then I clicked on your profile. I took a look at your match history. Nothing but 2v2s and 3v3s. You must have a lot of single ladies sliding in those DMs to ask you to play all those team games. 3 games in a row. Our man Acheron says, 1 gate, fast expand, Twilight Council is my jam. Makes me happy. And I do always believe that unless you're looking at the top 5 or top 10 of this planet, you can have your own style. When people say something works, something doesn't work, you can make almost anything work up to a certain level. Acheron is showing us that if you don't want to open up with oracles every single game, you don't need to open up with oracles every single game. There are some all-ins that I do think are hard to stop if you go Twilight Council. But obviously he goes like 1 gate and then the Nexus. It's not like he goes Nexus first and then Twilight Council. So I guess he might be okay because he would have quick warp gate. Can get the creep tumor here, by the way. That's a big pickup. Well done. Good job. Walking up that ramp, sniping that first creep tumor is awesome. This adept is going to get chased down though. The Lynx will get the wraparound and the Lynx are actually going to get the kill. So that's a nice little pickup for our German Zergy mechanics. The Resonating Glaive adept shouldn't surprise him. I want to say I think you can take this fight. I really do think you can take this fight. First you work on the probe, then you work on the adept. Maybe put like 1 more Link here. Good Link positioning, or at least good adept positioning. I think the Link positioning could have been a tiny bit better, but grab the probe, so that's something. Surface area has everything. If this adept was in the middle of nowhere, it would have been picked off immediately. Quick Dark Shrine. I do like that. You're obviously not just playing random ladder games over here, you're playing a series. And maybe he has picked up on the fact that Mechanics gets a pretty late lair, and it actually seems that Mechanics wants to build roaches a lot earlier. Oh. This is a brilliant Dark Shrine, guys. Could not have been a better moment to drop a Dark Shrine, because Mechanics wants to just clean this up ASAP and then immediately counterattack and win. The only problem is that he will not have a lair, and if you don't have a lair, you don't have a Overseer. He's actually gonna drone up now and fire up a lair, so that's good. I don't know if he's I don't think he scouted the Dark Shrine right now. Spidey senses tingling. And the Spidey senses did not betray him. I think now we're okay. Lairs finish up rather quickly. Small chance that maybe this hatchery gets cancelled by DTs, which would be annoying. But Resonating Glaive Adept into Dark Shrine is also not Omega cheap. You have to chase, you have to chase, you have to chase. 3 Dark Templars have been warped in, but the lair is 65-70% done. Let's just hope we don't lose the base. It's okay if Mechanics ends up losing like 10 drones here. That's obviously not nice, but that's something he can recover from. But if you lose an entire hatchery, it's going to be painful. That lair is almost done, and we need to get like double or even triple Overseer almost immediately. The DTs, do we see them? Do we see them? He hasn't seen them yet. We need Overseers, mate. Oh. We're going to morph 1 Overseer, but we need more because there is a DT in your natural. There is going to be a DT in the main. It's not crazy damage yet. Might be okay. Might be kind of okay. He's actually going to kill these 2 Dark Templars. So that's nice. Lost 7 drones. We're going to try to counterattack, but there is nothing to gain there. It's a lot of damage, guys. I said losing 10 drones might be okay. He's going to end up losing 12. But it's not just that he lost 12 drones. He lost a lot of mining time. And then on top of that, we send a bunch of links to the other side of the map that just walk straight through the meat grinder. It's one of these series that You really wonder how this series would have played out if Mechanics wins game 1, right? And clearly was in an absolutely fantastic spot to bring that first game home. Wouldn't say that he is Omega dead here. Like, it is 4 bases. We are already back up to 62 drones, so it is reasonable. But I am very worried for him. We don't have a lot of creep. I think that's a bit of a problem. Man, DTs are expensive. Double Robo is the follow-up. One of the Robos is going to be somewhat exposed. Are we going to spam Immortals then? I think you need... I'm going to go Observer first. Good cancel here. Perfect moment for the Lynx to show up. Immediately going to get the probe. Actually gets the kill on the pylon. So we cancel a pylon, cancel a nexus, and we kill a probe and a pylon. It's okay-ish for a couple of Zerglings. Mechanics needs to queue up a few more Overlords, and then maybe we can just go pedal to the metal. Mass Roach Ravager. It's going to take a little while before the Robo Bay comes online. This is where Zerg supply can really explode. The Lynx have shown up for round 2, and we're going to get a kill. How? What are we looking at, mate? I guess we're looking at a DT that went rogue. Went into the natural. That's nice, obviously, but losing your 4th Nexus, kind of painful. Acheron focused on his own harassment, killing 7 drones, nice and all. Losing this Nexus is pain, though. We had enough. The battery, cannon. Mechanics, those Overlords, mate, that I ordered a while ago, because you're already sitting on some money. Double Colossus on the way, but we've seen in game 1 that the Colossus will not necessarily keep you safe against all the roaches. I'm surprised, by the way, that Mechanics doesn't like Ravages. Okay. Make 7 of them. Good. 2 adepts in the center of the map. Kind of slipping. No. 6 roaches. Just say hello. 2 more adepts. Very nice adapt movement by Acheron. Even though he hasn't found too much success with it yet, I still think it's good. But he's going to have to worry about all these roaches and Ravagers that are going to one-shot that cannon, kill that shield battery. The Nexus gets cancelled again. We've got 2 Colossus. Colossus not the best unit ever here. I think if Mechanics just shoves everything in, you just go A-click forward, A-click forward, This is like an F2A move. You just want to shove it in, keep remaxing and shove it in. Don't fight at a range. Just try to get on top of all these Stalkers. Try to get on top of the Colossus. Maybe now disengage. Don't be here, mate. Go back. Okay, we are going... Well, he just still wants to shove everything into the natural. It might work. We have a few Zealots and a Stalker counterattacking, but Roaches and Ravagers are dancing in the natural of Acheron. Again, the German Zerg. Oh no, the DTs! No! Where are the Overseers? We need Overseers. Thank the Lord that he killed these buildings, by the way. That could have been mega painful. Overseer shows up, is going to grant him some detection. Snipes the first DT, gets the second one as well. Not even battery overcharge is going to save a Colossus and 4 Stalkers here. Guys, on the American server, Mr. Mechanics strikes back with another game that Loco and Pi and Stefano in his prime would be very proud of. We made a lot of roaches, we made a lot of ravages. We grabbed them, we shoved them to the other side of the map, and it's good enough. Acheron is sitting on 1800 minerals, but I really don't think he's going to have a chance to spend it. Don't forget that he even lost the Cyber Core. GG, we're going back to Europe for game 4. Mechanics, baby. I love that a guy that just builds a million roaches would call himself Mechanics. Makes me happy. Yeah, go. No, wait, this was Europe. Never mind. I was wrong, guys. Sorry, this was game 3. This was on Europe. We're going back to America for game 4. Fake news. Stop the count. I'm sorry. Game 4 on the American server. Game 3 was in Europe. Still though, nice win. No 3-0. Makes me happy. Dum. No. Whew. It's been a long week. Well, it's been a pretty fun Friday night so far. It's by chatting and playing at the same time. I don't know if he is playing or what he's playing, but could be. high as a grinder. But MMR is loco. Probably like a little bit lower than mechanics, but not a whole lot. It is a Fanta Cassis Coco. Those are awesome. I'm a big fan. You've never seen it? They're new. No Dr. Foods. Might have one though. Might sneak one in. Thank you, Alex G. Bunked for the 9 months and the Twitch Prime. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored. No. The Friday night is brought to you guys by Basilisk, and that's it. Nothing else. Maybe one day I'll show up with a fat Rolex and I'll be like, oh guys, actually sponsored by Rolex too, but I'm currently too busy sponsoring F1. But hey, never say never. You can always keep on dreaming. What is the counter to Coconut's Flower threat? Well, Starcraft 2 is a beautiful game. And the nice thing is that you have so many different ways of dealing with stuff that your opponent throws at you. And we love Starcraft because there kind of is the right answer for everything. Besides the Flower of Cocoa. The one true unstoppable build. But that's why in most pro tournaments there is a rule where it says you're not allowed to do the flower. Everything is fair game in our beautiful universe, but the flower is actually the only banned strategy in competitive StarCraft. MaxPax got a severe warning for bringing out the flower. He actually did it against someone that's good as well. That's the most bizarre thing. I forgot who it was, guys, but a couple months ago, MaxPax played a PvZ on Side Delta against a Zerg that was like legit 5.5k or something. And MaxPax, the little troll that he is, actually went for the flower. And he won. Just because I think his opponent just could not understand what on earth MaxPax was doing and what it was. And he's like, this can't possibly be the flower. But it was. And he won with it.
Round 4. Fight!
Top right side of Alcyone, we are looking in the main base of the man who's taking a very early extractor. We are switching things up. You guys say that the build of acheron is all-inable. Well, we are about to find out, because this to me, guys, screams all-in. This is mechanics. Yeah, no, it's totally real. Black Neo. Acheron scouts this. I really wonder, by the way, what you do as a Protoss if you scout this. Like, I open up in a different way. But if I see this, I take this very, very serious. Like, all alarm bells go off. I would take this so serious that I'm willing to drop a forge. Now, I'm a bit of a fish. It seems that acheron does not give a damn. This is going to take a 1-gate fast spin Nexus. Alright. If you just spam links here... you need something though. I really hope these, the bare minimum gonna build a Zealot. Because if these 6 Zerglings just run to the other side of the map, aren't you kind of like in trouble immediately? And imagine if he keeps on making links. I don't know if he will, because we have the gold as well, but... It is 6 links to start off with. We are supply blocked now for a little while on the side of mechanics. But just 6 links is already kind of problematic, no? Well, it doesn't really matter where he thinks the hatch is. The links are following the probe, so... Seems like that is going to be okay. The adept will come out in time. I guess we could have temporarily walled off. That part is okay. But you still need to take this very serious. This is an Omega early extractor. Could be a Baneling bust. Could be Roach Ling Ravager of like 20-something drones. That's gonna hit you at like minute 330. And it's very hard to scout this as a Protoss, because you know link speed is going to be done so freaking quick. It's scary. Still goes Twilight Council. It might be okay, because we can see that mechanics actually kind of stop mining gas, and he's just going for a very quick +1 melee. +1 melee can be good against Resident Enclave Adept, but I also think it's very important that you get a Baneling Nest. If you just want to defend with queens and +1 links, it kind of works against X amount of adepts, but if that number grows a little bit bigger than you expect it to grow, then this is game over. Like, acheron is wild, by the way. I would never, ever, ever have the guts to even move my adepts out of this choke point. And also, we're walling off with a pylon here. This really could have been a Baneling boss. And the Baneling boss would be hitting right now. It'd be hard, it'd be big, it'd be devastating, it'd be game over. And we are gonna get a Baneling nest just a little bit later than what I thought. No. Maybe the idea actually is to just first clean up. Or we can also spam just +1 melee links and get a cancel on the Nexus. Mechanics is down 10 workers or so, but he does have the gold. How many adepts is he exactly? Yeah, that's very hard to say, uncertainty, because it also depends if the queens are participating in the fight or not. I kind of think that links can always battle anything up to like 8 adepts, but if it goes more than 8, it becomes super difficult for just Zerglings to fight that. Then you really need to have either queens in a perfect position, or ideally you get roaches or banelings. I think there is a lot of potential here for mechanics. Acheron is... I mean, it is definitely an all-in. Whoa, this one adept here, by the way, guys. This one adept, or all the adepts, actually. Man, this is going to be so crazy, because now he's going to see all the banelings. One of the banelings does move, or does get used immediately. These adepts are now going to get surrounded, but I don't think that the banelings can connect in time. Or will they? Will they? He kind of prevented some of his own banes to connect, right? Still gets a lot of the adepts. I mean, he's gonna get all of them, I guess, especially with +1 mana, but is it good enough, guys? Because I feel like if you're spamming Lings and Banes of 27 drones, you don't want to be battling in the center of the map. You want to be battling right here. Acheron made batteries, something, warp in, crap. Bro, oh my god, this guy is fearless. He's just, he thinks it's all out macro, but it's not. Oh my goodness, Acheron is crazy. Now we're gonna get 1 battery. It's pretty damn late. There are 3 adepts counterattacking, but mechanics with all the banelings should be able to blow up these adepts, should be able to get the pylons, and then this Nexus, and then it's a 2-base Protoss. A 24 worker deficit. Nice adept split, by the way. Well done. Very well done. Oh, this might be a hold. With that adept split, guys, it might actually be a hold. And if this is a hold, it's kind of game over. Because the adepts are still killing drones on the other side of the map. Acheron completely fearless. No battery in the natural. No cannons or batteries or a crazy amount of warp-ins or chrono boosting gates. No. Nothing but probes. And he has basically won this game. I think the banelings in the center of the map did not quite connect properly with the adepts, and it just made everything drag out and go on for a little while longer. That made it good enough for the Protoss, because every second that goes by when the income graph looks like this is monstrous. Adepts with glaives are incredibly good in choke points. Mechanics is gonna give it one more shot. Does have an army supply lead. Like, Acheron is still fearless. He's still just shading out, guys. This would actually be the biggest throw in the history. Up 40 workers. But the man has 0 units here. We are up 40 workers, but he has absolutely 0 units. Does have hold position though, and hold position is good. Shield battery not quite ready yet. The slow banelings are going to show up. These banelings will get some very juicy fat connections. You know, Acheron is just like, man, this guy has a lot of links, but let me go ahead and kill some drones on the other side of the map. Seems like a plan. Like, I think it will work out, but this boy is crazy. Get the pylon! Oh, he does get the pylon, but not before 3 more adepts get warped in. We need the probes here to battle a little. Guys, +1 links, back a punch. The drone in the mix. It's just a little too late, but we have still a lot of links out. How many gates do we have? Only 4. Please don't make stalkers. Whatever you do, mate, please don't make stalkers. Build some units, build some gates. You cannot lose this game, please. You're up 40 workers. Alright, we're gonna warp in 4 adepts, but all of these adepts are gonna get surrounded immediately by +1 melee Zerglings. Don't tell me it's happening. Don't tell me that there is a world where mechanics wins this game. There's no shield battery here, by the way. Like, he has 27 links. He is gonna get the pylon. He is gonna get the Nexus. If you would have just worked on this Cybercore or the gate, 33 probes have fallen. Acheron for the longest time just could not believe That mechanics, I think, was as committed and as all in as he was. So our American Protoss is just like kind of mentally preparing for a nice drawn-out macro game. Meanwhile, his opponent is emptying all of his genes, even the genes that he already packed up and sent to Goodwill. He's like, wait, I have to check the pockets and see if I have any pennies left. Maybe if I'm really lucky, $1 or $2. What a game. What a clown fiesta of a game here. 9 minutes into Alcyone. Acheron is just going to go ahead and try to take this base again. He still has absolutely no units to defend it. Mechanics might win this, no? Am I crazy? Is there a world where the guy who was down 40 workers is actually going to win this game? You like the toss better here? Yeah, that was a good depth warp in. I think if the links were here a tiny bit quicker, it would have been okay. I don't know though. Don't forget, +1 melee is big. Lair attack is done now. We're gonna get a Roachborn. He lost so many drones that this gold will actually still run for quite some time. Archons are big, but we're not going for Archons. We're going for High Templars, baby. Maybe Acheron will still win. Nice Warp Prison play here. We're going to drop 2 Adepts. Might get a few more drones here. If we are sharp, gets at least one, and that's all. Nice defense by Mechanics in the end. Gets both of them. This is... I cannot believe... What was that? Like 56 probes against 19 drones, right, guys? That's not one of these moments where we are exaggerating. We're like, wow, he's up like 35 workers. It was legit 19 drones against 56 probes. And Acheron is still just building probes and getting an upgrade, dropping some tech. It's like, yeah, nothing to see here, right? Roaches are very good, though. I never count out the roach. I will never count out the roach. Rookie mistake, anybody who counts out the roach. If it was double Robo and a Robo Bay, I'd be like, yeah, okay, there's almost no way, but... No. I see 30 roaches showing up winning this game, absolutely. I've lost games where I was in a way better position than Acheron currently is in. Like, this is an okay-ish army, but it's actually not that mega big. I think if Mechanics can get a good surround, buy a little bit of time. Mechanics needs to buy time, obviously. Like, he cannot fight right now. You kind of need to threaten, run in, run out, maybe bait a storm, and then hope that you get a great engagement. Feedbacks would have been okay there, I think. First Archon gets almost picked up immediately, but does soak up a lot of shots in the end. The storms are pretty good. Now 2 Archons are morphing. This is where we need some extra links to show up. The Baning's going to show up, but there are 2 more Archons. And I think these final 2 healthy Archons are just going to be good enough. Warp Prism is going to warp in 6 Stalkers. It seems that the American Protoss will be able to bring this one home. 13 roaches in the production tab. Really could have made the difference, but it is all just a little bit too late. I wonder how this all would have gone if the links would have been there to immediately deny that base from going up one more time. Because in the end, the only reason Acheron was able to survive that base and keep it alive is because of the adepts that he warped in behind those stalkers. GG gets called. Acheron wins on his debut in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts 3-1. Pretty fun series with a couple of very crazy moments. Obviously a magical game 1 and a very wild game 3. Look at the worker graph. I see a lot of crazy graphs, guys, but I very rarely see a worker graph like this. What the hell is this? This gap's so big it could be the Grand Canyon. It almost turned into a game. I think if the Lynx would have been able to just deny that Nexus one more time, it really could have all been different. Alright, so that will do it. We're now going to hop to the European server. All of the games for the rest of the night will be played on the European server. 2 series down, 2 more series to come over here. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, Friday night of video gaming. Let me go ahead and settle this one. Fun series between two guys around 5,300, 5,200, 5,400 MMR. I enjoyed it. In the end, the American Protoss won. He gets $80 for the win. Mechanics will still get $20 for playing. So I hope they still have a good evening, both of them. Time for the co-main event. It's a big one, guys. It is Goblin versus Nikic. For the first time in Lord knows how long, we got Goblin to play. Best of 5, 6k MMR. Goblin, Croatian P. Nikic, Belarusian Z. This guy's a grinder, by the way. A, he's always down to play, and B, he's I give you guys only 10 minutes, by the way, but 10 minutes is still a long time. And he's actually been doing really good on the ladder. Apparently, recently got up to 6,250 MMR, which I think is for him an all-time high, and it's incredibly hard to get that high up on the European ladder in this day and age. You really need to start beating guys like Hero Marine and Mana and Christiana, or a whole bunch, Strange on his Smurf accounts, to even get there. So a while ago I would have said this is definitely Goblin favorite. Right now, I don't know. Goblin did say that he still feels very good and confident against anybody that's not a Omega big boy of the European scene. When he says that, he's obviously thinking of like Raynor, Cero, Clem, Maxpax, Lambo, Elaser. He doesn't want to play those. He said, I'm pretty good against everyone else. Well, I think I gave him a tough challenge tonight. I'm very excited for this. I'll take a tiny break, and after that, I'll be back. Another PVZ is coming up. Goblin versus Nikic.